Hello guys and gals. So Schönebog Area 6 Ruins is today. The daily objective is insufficient supplies, which is a massive attack debuff for our guys. That's the map. W's the boss for 8, precipitous terrain 2, anti-clustering, and last line of defense. The group we're using, because of the attack debuff, I'm bringing along a higher group. So we've got Texas and Myrtle both with skill 2. Mur with skill 1, Suzerain with skill 2, Greythroat with skill 2, May with skill 2, Cora with skill 2. So Cora's skill 2 is actually really good for this because she can sustain if everything goes to heck. Blue skill 2, Beeswax skill 1 because it has a really good cycle. Ethan with skill 2, basically because we want to really exploit that talent. Now, if you have Manticore with skill 2, absolutely bring her along. Because she far outstrips Ethan in this particular map. Lancet for her deploy skill, Thermite for his explosion. And last but not least, we need a Thorns with skill 3. So we're going to start off with deploying Myrtle out of the way. So I'm just going to deploy her step top here. So keep her away from those tiles where you'll be deploying other operators. Texas in next, obviously. Blue Poison will be following that. So Blue Poison will be our primary... Whoop, that's not blue. Down here. Cycle those skills nice and quick. Get Ethan in there. There we go. So beeswax in there. If you've got mint works fine as well. So as always with Ethan, results may vary on how this works out for you. So next what we're going to do after we get this enemy down, so here comes a nice little cluster of enemies. This boss, well, this fellow here in particular, so we're just gonna go absolutely ham on him. Now I know full well that he shouldn't get anywhere, so I'm gonna use Texas' skill. Thorns is gonna go in. Healer for here. Because even if he gets through all this, there's no way in God's green earth he's getting to the exit. So our tank in now. May put him out of his misery anyway. So these first couple of enemies on the top row, I don't want to interfere with. I don't want anything to do with these enemies at the top. I'm just going to let them go through. Because I want Thorns to start attacking, to start getting that skill up. So, I'm going to cycle Myrtle's skill. Cycle this skill. Now, essentially what I'm going to try and do, and try is a very loose term here, is I'm going to try and cycle these 3 attackers as much as I possibly can to sort of do the most damage to everyone as I can. So, because obviously Beeswax doesn't attack, I want to make sure that when she's down, the other 2 are carrying, obviously, dead weight. And also, it's really important to note that Beeswax is probably the heavy hitter of all this that's going on here. So I kind of want to make the most of Beeswax. So I want to space these enemies out, so I'm going to use May's skill. So once again, this guy's not going to go anywhere. I don't care about him. need to slow these two casters down, so I'm going to deploy Myr here. Lancet to keep Myr topped up. Cycle that second skill because that's super, super, super important. Now, basically, I knew Myr was probably going to go down there. I don't care. The bottom line is I just needed Thorns to be topped up until his second skill cycled, so that's all good. I'm going to leave Myr on the field because I want Mei to be topped up. So here comes W. I'm going to use Beeswax's skill to make sure everything here goes down. So here we go. I'll top up Mei. I'm going to use Mei's skill against these guys. So Mei's topped up. I don't need her anymore. I'm going to cycle this heal first. Ethan first. Blue Poison to get these two archers down. When this red sniper comes out, we're going to use Greythroat's skill. So I'm trying to work out where that bomb is. It's on Ethan, I think. So once, obviously, Suzuru's skill cycle, what we're going to do, use that. Here comes the next big problem, or roadblock, that we're going to have. Mei skill, cycle it as soon as we can. Cora has a bomb on her. 1, 2, 3. That damage is mitigated. Ethan's good to go, so we're going to use Ethan's skill. Beeswax is topping herself up. We're happy with that. Top lane is done. Thorns out. These two snipers out. 2, 3. Perfect. Once her shield is off, we're going to cycle Suzuru's skill. Make sure we wait for those bombs to go off, and then Beeswax again. Because we don't want Beeswax getting hammered. Blue Poison, whenever she's ready, cycle her. At this point in time, Ethan's questionable. Boom. Redeploy Texas. We're going to redeploy Myrtle way, way, way up the top here. W's dead, so we don't need to worry too much about that. But the reason we're deploying Myrtle up here is just in case W does come through or does put bombs on people. So we're trying to keep W's bombs away from, you know, all of our DPS. I don't need to use that skill, but I'm going to. And cycle again. From here, Texas is kind of just sitting there pointlessly, but you get the point. And that's it. It's not particularly simple, this one, simply because of obviously the massive, massive attack debuff, but so long as you can keep skill cycling, so there's not a massive DPS gap towards the end when W comes out, that's great. Operators, I call them pseudo AoE snipers, which is Blue Poison and Vermeil. Those operators in particular are fantastic, simply because they split their damage without losing anything in return. And keeping them, that Blue Poison should be out of range of W where she is, so that's great. That's the one big problem you're going to have is where I had Beeswax, because Beeswax will always be in the firing line for W. So when her first bomb should nearly always come out and go on your tank. I think it's from the second set of bombs onwards, she starts putting them on multiple targets. So that's where you really want to be cautious about that, because they will blow up, they will do AoE, and it will cause big mess for you. So I hope that helps, guys. If it does, please leave me a like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the next one.